So, just a couple of questions about the suspected murder of Dr. Bouchard.
Dr. Bouchard?
Yeah, Dr. Susan Bouchard. She compiled some sort of medical report shortly before she was murdered. Read North Stream.
Would you care to comment about that?
I have no knowledge of any report.
The company ruined her life, apparently. Some sort of blacklist. She was terrified about what you might do next.
What? I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
Why not? I mean, there must be a ton of lawyers in this place. Oh, don't worry, I can wait.
Hi everybody, I am Peter Travers. This is Popcorn, where we tell you what's going on in pop culture. And there's a show now on Amazon called Tin Star. Well, I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm going to let my guest Tim Roth, since he's starring in it as the new sheriff in town. He comes from England.
Yeah.
And he comes to the Canadian Rockies, of all places, for reasons that will become clear to people as they, not right away, that's for sure. You know?
But it's a weird deal. I met these guys in Canada. It's a weird deal because it's the Commonwealth. Mm-hmm. We still own it. So Buckingham Palace is serious.
So you came in there and it was
Queen is
this
on the
is
money,
mine. Yeah, Queen,
right?
Queen
So
is on the money.
Yeah. So you get, there is a British policemen do this. If it's too much, if they've just about had enough, and they want a bit of a quiet life, they can apply for a job in the middle of nowhere in Canada. And so this is what this guy does, because his past is so dark and so bleak, and he's a recovering alcoholic, and he's a blackout alcoholic. He is a mess, and he's trying to keep his family together. And so they go to the idyllic little beautiful spot in the middle of nowhere. Meanwhile, oil companies are surging in, and his past is catching up with him. And he can't remember his past at all, so it's a thing.
So well, that ought to set that up.
And it's Jekyll and Hyde too.
Well, it is. But inside of that part that you're playing, because this guy, when he takes a drink, that's all he needs.
Yeah, it kicks him into the other guy.
Yeah.
The specifics of his condition are quite unusual, or certainly new to me in that respect. Like I've been pished, but you know, but this is blackout. So there's two characters, and who remembers what, and who's in control of what. And we had to make a little Bible for me, but also for Genevieve, who's playing my missus, for Abigail, who's playing my kid, and they know him, they've seen him in this state. But what does he remember when he's back? And so it got quite confusing.
Well, yeah, because we're a little afraid of getting Jack back. I've only seen 4 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen nothing.
Okay. I feel good now. Right, that's it. I've seen nothing.
No, because it kicks off. And then, and then it gets scary. Then it gets really interesting. So it's weird, because when they sent it to me, I read the first episode and went, okay. And then I had nothing. I had no idea of where it was.
Well, that must be good. That's good for an actor to have that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe being a little scared of it, you know?
Yeah,
you just say,
I mean, fear of failure, fear of not being able to live up to the subject, to the piece, fear of the piece not living up to your expectations of it. All of those things are real.
As an actor, do you have that feeling that the next job might not be there?
Oh, damn, yeah. Oh,
really? All the time, even?
But I'm English.
Can't you wave your Oscar nomination at people?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Doesn't? I thought maybe.
No, you go, Oscar nomination over here, and I'm going, I've got one actually, so, you know. No, none of it matters. There is a fear of unemployment that drives the Brits, I think.
Especially Brits.
I think so. And so...
That's why they're in all of our American TV shows.
That's why they are desperate to be in them. But no, it's because No, I had 10 years of films and whatnot behind me when I came to America, and it was Altman that brought me to America. And then I was here for a little while, then I came back to work up in New York in a tiny budget movie called Jumping in the Boneyard. Jeff Stansler directed it, and I think we were the only film that was shooting in the States at that in New York at that time. Mayor Dinkins came to visit, and he was wearing tennis whites and had pink eye at the time for a photo shoot with a couple of crack addicts on the set. It was great. But I think our budget was like 250 grand or something. It was, we were trying to make a movie. And then I went down to LA to do what you're supposed to do, which is do the meetings and all of that. And then I got Reservoir Dogs, and that just turned my life upside down.
Well, you know, people would see you, and one doesn't forget Mr. Orange.
No, I liked him because he was the good guy, and people do forget that.
Well, no, he was good because he got
good guy.
shot really bad in the stomach.
But he was the cop.
He was the cop. He was the, you know, he had to keep pretending he wasn't the cop.
Yeah.
That he was as bad as
Spoiler
anybody
alert.
could be.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't know Reservoir Dogs by now,
My kids,
No,
I
that
kept
you
them
haven't-
away from it for a while, and then
well, I guess you don't want to show it to them before
A
they're
little
7.
bit, it's a little bit
you
much,
know,
yeah.
I think.
I
Look
think
at
that
Daddy get shot in the
I
stomach.
do think that I saw it. They saw it. I think that
They would sneak out
with
and
their
then,
mates.
Then
Yeah.
you build them up to Pulp Fiction and
Yeah.
everything in terms of Quentin. What is this? You and Quentin? This is like 4 movies. The 4.
He's like an old school theatre director, and he has his troupe, and now that troupe changes, and you can be cut from it. You can be in it, cut from it, whatever, and that's fine.
Well, that would add to your paranoia about the next job. you
No,
know.
not with
Wouldn't
him.
it? Not with him.
No, if I'm done now, I'm done now. This is he what he did for me. That's enough. I mean, it was ridiculously wonderful what he did for me.
Yeah, but there's also a kind of vibrancy to when you're in Pulp Fiction with Amanda Plummer and you're
Yeah.
Pumpkin and Honey Bunny,
Yeah.
and you're deciding you're going to rob a restaurant because no one's thought of it before.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to take this place down. And it's electric to watch that kind of thing.
But to read it is, I mean, when you get the scripts, you go, oh, you know, it's almost a relief because it's so beautifully constructed.
So you
written.
can't screw up? No.
Well, you can screw up, and he'll tell you. But it's pretty much there. I mean, if you get his music, if you get his
That rhythm
the way,
of his
yeah,
speech. Yeah.
then you know, like, then you pretty much gonna be okay.
Well, I mentioned before your Academy Award nomination, which was for Rob Roy. There you're just like this, on the surface, ridiculous fop
Yeah.
who is the most menacing, cruel,
Yes.
horrendous creature in the world.
Well, I have this thing about the Brits, the aristocracy. I'm not a big fan, but to say the least. Although I'm still waiting for my knighthood. Just
Where is it? Aren't you even the OBE
should be in the
thing?
mail. I don't know. Apparently, I'm still waiting for the money back for the royal wedding. Anyway, I'm not a fan. So when I read it, I was like, okay, this is interesting to play a pawn in that game. But I really thought I was going to get fired because we hadn't got to the place where we reveal the wig comes off and the man is seen. So we hadn't got there, and then so I was priming my agent at the time, saying, "You better get me another job because they're going to kill me on this one. They're going to fire me in the first couple of weeks." But you know, they stuck with me on that one. And then you couldn't get me off the set for bowing about 50 times, and I was mugging it. You know, it was fine.
You're going to notice me,
Yeah.
whether
Oh,
you
yeah.
like it or not.
Oh yeah.
I read that you had no real formal acting training.
None.
So nothing. So what were you doing? Were you home looking at the telly and watching other actors act or going to movies?
When I was in high school, I did a play as a joke. I auditioned as a joke for a musical, and the drama teacher, who I wasn't in drama at all, just went, "All right, go on then." I was like, "Oh, what am I going to do?" and I had to go out in front of all the bullies and all the in the school, and I had to perform, and it was a musical of Dracula. It was called Dracula Spectacular. Look it up.
Sounds like it should be on ice.
It's a classic.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Even better. The rollerblades.
Yeah.
So I did it, and within 5 minutes of walking out for the first time and hearing people laugh, I got hooked, and that's the thing that will always get you. And so I thought, oh bugger, I should do more of this. So I started to audition with this fantastic woman, Jill Walker. I've been trying to track her down, but she would put me with community theatres and pub theatres, which we have in London, little places like you have, around in New York, and I would just do plays. And then I went on and carried on doing that, and then got lucky with a thing called Made in Britain, which was playing a skinhead Nazi in a TV film, and that was that.
Skinhead Nazi was fine. Easy. Let me do it.
I've been around them. I went to school with bullies. A lot of the people that I went to school with were either I'm sure in prison, dead, and also the National Front guys, who were the Nazi guys, like we have now. Well, I don't think they ever went away, but they joined the police force. So that was their natural route, and at that time, or prison was the other natural route, and some kind of criminality, drugs.
Yeah.
And I got to be an actor.
Which they must have just appreciated so much.
They did. One
did.
One bully,
Right. Yeah.
one guy beat me up on a regular basis. I was sitting on top of a bus, and I'd just been on telly, and I saw him coming up. I was sitting upstairs because you could smoke, and I used to smoke in those days, and you could smoke upstairs on the bus. And he come up on the bus. It's in London. I was like, he's going to whack me again. And I'm in my 20s, and I'm still like, these guys are scary. And he sat down and went, "Can I get your autograph?" And I denied him. So, whoa. That was my small payback.
Rebellion.
Yeah.
Were you expecting all kinds
No,
of...
he said, "You're still a Roth," and got off the bus.
When I look at you and I think of the things that I've seen you do, you probably have your own favorites that are there, but you did that Gridlock with Tupac. That was just, people don't know about it. It's like an incredible movie. The two of you were like a comedy team.
He was great. First of all, I didn't know who he was. They came up to me, Vondi, the director, is delight of a human, came up and said, "There's this guy, Tupac, he's a rapper, and I'm like, give me an actor to work with, please, I don't know who he is, so, He said, well, okay. Then I got nominated, I think it was during that time, and Quincy Jones came up to me and said, "You've got to give this kid a shot." And I went, "Oh, right." It being Quincy Jones. So Vondi set it up, the director set it up, and we was this little restaurant that I used to go to in LA, and it had a courtyard in the back, and I'm sitting there, and it's empty. We cleared it out, and his bodyguards come in like that, and they scan it, do their thing like Secret Service chaps, and then they leave. I'm like, okay, this is not good. No, it's just like, this is embarrassing. And then some girls came in and sat down at various tables across. I'm like, this is getting worse. And then Puck walked in and sat down with me, and let me know what the character was that he was playing. And I went, "Oh, I'm working with an actor. Oh, I'm working with an actor." And then we started just riffing on it immediately, and what he didn't want it to be and what he wanted it to be and all that. It's a tiny low budget movie,
Yeah.
It was just about two guys trying to get off the street into whatever. But he really laid it out, and I didn't know that he was an actor before he was a rapper. That's what he. I mean, God knows what he could be doing now.
Yeah.
How extraordinary he could be now. But his comic timing was bliss and accurate, and his sense of mischief was really there. And he called, what's his nickname for me? Free. Because I'll take anything that's free.
Oh, you
and
mean
mine,
the swag, yeah.
And my name for him was New Money, because he looked like the
New
Bentleys, and I'm like, you know, right.
You also did something that's really brave for an actor to do. Some do it and some do it well. And you did it really well when you directed The Wars.
Okay, yeah.
So this is like, that's a choice. You're making this, I'm going to do this.
I have to say with that was the best experience I've ever had within the film world.
This one is so personal to you.
Oh, for sure.
This is, you know, it's an
But
incest
I wasn't
story.
looking for personal.
It wasn't? It wasn't coming out of your own traumas?
No, I didn't.
No, you just said
already-
this is fun.
The thing is, once you talk about abuse, when you start talking about abuse, it's over.
How is it over?
it-
Once you
'cause
talk
you
about
go,
it, you're free of it? You,
It's not that I'm free of it. You just go, oh, I can talk. Oh, that's okay then. Because otherwise it's cramped and bottled up and just it resonates inside you. But I'd been talking about it. My father was the one that got me talking about it, and before he died, I think it was the last conversation I had with him face to face. He said, "Did my father ever with you?" And I went, "Yeah." He went, "Yeah, me too." And I went,
this is when he tells you about it.
"It's different generation,
Different generation.
different vocabulary,
Yeah.
different world," and I give him that. He wanted to say it. It took him that long to say it. You know, I give him that. So I went to make the film. Now, first thing that came at me was this book. And I read it and went, oh, he got that wrong. He got that right. And he got, oh, that's wrong. No, you don't. That's not. And so I got in touch with the writer, Alexander, and said, let's talk. And we repaired. He hadn't been abused. He'd lost his child to cancer. And that's why he wrote the book. I had been, so I said, I got this for you, don't worry about it. I got
I
this.
could take care of this.
I got that bit.
This.
And so I fell in love with the job. I really enjoyed being, having wallpaper discussions with the set designers, you know, up until 4 in the morning.
It's 100 people asking you questions every day.
And good.
Yes, and
As
just
they
saying,
should.
why are you doing it this way? I
Yeah.
want it this way.
Yeah, I like that.
No.
Oh, yeah. And making radical decisions, going, oh, we were going to go and do all of that. Scrap it. We're going to do this instead. And
We'll do it again.
You know, yeah, it's fun.
You can do it
I'm going
again.
to do it again. I have 2 scripts that are ready to go, and I'm about, once my youngest is through college, because I don't want him coming out of college with a mortgage, basically, student loans. Once that's done, you know, then I'm going to direct.
So, you know, because this is the first time we've talked, I could go on with you. I haven't
do it
even
again.
really touched it. We'll do it again. But you've never been on the show, so you don't know that we end in song. Just a little something.
You can't do that with me
I
because
can
I'm
do it with
crap
you.
at it. But
No, listen, I saw you in
song.
Woody Allen.
Exactly,
Everyone says
which
I love you.
tells you.
You serenaded Drew Barrymore.
Well, who wouldn't?
To If I Had You.
But who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't? Well, so that's why I think you could put yourself back in that place.
Hang on a sec, I got something for you.
Do you?
I'm trying to figure it out. Okay. I was in a film once for about 50 seconds.
Good.
And I was about to get kicked off the rooftop or kill myself. And they
Something
said, can you just,
romantic.
can you, yeah, it's really romantic.
Really, yeah.
Can you just say something in his ear? I went, okay, this is it, ready? I went to the animal fair. The birds and the beasts were there. The big baboon by the light of the moon was combing his golden hair. The monkey, he got drunk. He sat on the elephant's trunk. The elephant sneezed and fell to his knees, and that was the end of the monkey. And I used to sing that to my kids.
Look at that. It all comes true. He just needed a little whisper in his ear. Instead, he got a whole song.
You got that, and then he threw me off a roof.
Perfect.
As you do.
It sounds like it should happen. Tim, it's
Cheers, man.
great to meet you. Great
you.
to talk to you. That was good.